About the astronauts and what they discovered and what they invented. And today I'm gonna say about the International Space Station and what are probes. So let's get into the video. Ptolemy was an astronomer and he was also a mathematician. He believed that Earth is in the center of the solar system, and the Greek word of Earth is also known as geocentric theory. So he named as geocentric theory. Now, as you can see, these are the Ptolemy's geocentric model. And see, in this, it's in the wrong order. The Earth is, they said, the Earth is in the first, then the Moon is in the second, then Mercury, Venus, then only the others. Now, let me move to the next slide. Nicholas Copernicus, as you can see, and Nicholas Copernicus was a Polish astronomer. He was a Polish astronomer. He was a Polish astronomer known as the father of the astronomy. His father also known as the astronomy. He said he is the first modern European scientist to propose that Earth and other planets revolve around the Sun, or the heliocentric theory in the universe. Now, his heliocentric theory only, the theory which we use now. The Sun is in the first, then the Earth is in the third, then the Mercury and the Venus and all other. His theory only we are using now, called heliocentric theory. Galileo. His contributions to astronomy include telescope confirmation of the phases of Venus, the craters on the Moon, his observation of the fourth largest satellites of the Moon of the Jupiter. He got the four largest satellites of the Moon. Then his observation of Saturn's rings and annihilation of any sunspots. And as you can see, here is Galileo and his telescope seeing over the Sun. Now let me move to the next slide. The International Space Station. The International Space Station, or the ISS, or the Modular Habitable Artificial Satellite. As you can see, this is the habitable artificial satellite, the low orbit. The station serves the microgravity and space environment research in the laboratory. Here's where the laboratory is there, and here will be meteorologist, astronomy, physics and other fields. Probes. A space probe is an uploaded animated device set to explore space and gather scientific information. Or space is launched from Earth is a set of scientific instrumentation and tools that used to study on the atmosphere, other space and other planets, moons or celestial bodies. The space race or the Cold War. The space race began in the 1955 when both countries announced that they would soon be launching satellites into the orbit. The Soviets took the US announcement and established their challenge with US and the commissions whose goal to beat the US in the putting into a satellite into space. The artificial satellite. On October 4, 1957, the Russians placed the first successful satellite into the orbit. It was called a Sputnik 1. As I told, this was the Lalika's first rocket, Sputnik 1. The Russians had taken the space race. Already I put this about the Sputnik 1 in the animals in space. Then the Americans successfully launched their satellite 4 months later called the Explorer 1. The first man in orbit. The Soviets again won the race for putting the first man into the space. On April 12, 1961, Yuri Gagarin was the first man to orbit the Earth in the spacecraft Vostok 1. 3 weeks later, US launched the Freedom 7 astronaut Alan Shepard. Alan Shepard became the first American in space. They went in the Apollo 14. After many years of experiments, test flights, and Apollo 11 spacecraft was launched into the space on July 16, 1969. The crew included astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. The trip took moon 3 days. Neil Armstrong stepped outside and became the first man to walk on the moon. With first on the moon, the Armstrong, that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. And as you can see, here is Neil Armstrong. End of space war. Within the Gemini and Apollo programs, US has taken a huge lead in the space race. In July 1975, the religions and the US-Soviet beginning the thaw, the first US-Soviet joint mission occurred, the Apollo-Soyuz project. The space race was effectively over. Edwin Hubble and his telescope. Edwin Hubble measured the distance nearby galaxies using Cepheid variables. Galaxies are islands of stars, and developed a classification scheme for galaxies. Discovered the expansion of the universe. The space telescope was named after him. Edwin Hubble. Biography: I'm an American astronomer. His education was in University of Chicago. The first to show the other galaxy by photographing stars of Andromeda. He discovered the expansion of the Hubble's law by observing the redshift of the galaxies. Now he is from 1889 to 1953. Henrietta Swan Leavitt, pioneering astronomer whose groundbreaking discoveries has allowed the scientists to measure the distance of the remote stars. Henrietta Swan Leavitt. She was to astronomy, measured over 2000 Cepheid and the variable stars, discovered the period of luminosity reaction. Leavitt's cosmos becomes used by Edwin Hubble for the distance of the galaxies, opened the way measuring the universe. Now today we have seen many astronomers, and who was in the first in the moon, then who was in the first in the orbit, and what is space station, International Space Station. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.